Hello and welcome to the Ideal Forever Partner Magnet podcast, the show where we explore the infinite benefits of creating the relationship of a lifetime, attracting our ideal forever partner like a magnet, and living our best life as the highest and best version of ourselves.
I'm your host, Arell, Holloway, results coach, fitness expert, former real estate investor, and founder of UTAIY, Unveiling the Angel in You, and also the World Impact Compound Movement. This podcast is for high achievers and romantics that never learned the art of love relationships. That was me. Anyone wanting to improve their relationship with receiving, having, and giving unconditional love. And couples who want to strengthen their existing relationship and take it to an even greater level. So why the term ideal forever partner for IF? Why not call it spouse, soulmate, true love match, our person, or the one? Those terms don't officially define and match our avatar. We design to mirror our IFP, but more on that later. Here's why the name Ideal Forever Partner is the best match. Ideal describes perfect for us. Forever crystallizes that we are committed and all in. Partner indicates collaboration, not domination. The terms spouse, soulmate, true love match, our person, or the one include but don't fully define our goal, which is an epic, unconditionally warm and loving relationship of a lifetime. Humanity is experiencing a loneliness epidemic. The greatest change we make in ourselves in a lifetime is through committing with our IFP, or Ideal Forever Partner. The biggest impact I can make in someone's life is teach you how to manifest your IFP. So with this podcast, I'm dedicated to helping souls around the world wake up to who you really are and what you really want in life, helping you on your path of learning about unconditional love by creating significant, epic relationships that generate happy memories. Stay tuned because you won't want to miss the game-changing advice we're about to share on this awesome journey.
Arell's Golden Eye.
Truth has no limits, and neither do we.
Arell Holloway. Today's topic: the secret to a fulfilling life. Why marriage matters now more than ever.
What it takes to create balance, meaning, and fulfillment to live your best life, and why a strong and committed marriage leads to our greatest success, even in this day and time. In this day and time, marriage seems to be becoming less frequent because of bad experiences and couples shifting from love to war using a multitude of reasons, as well as seeing past generations fail at marriage. Before we begin, please note that which direction you choose has to do with your current mentality. Okay, you're welcome to be stating the obvious, but it's not as simple as you may think. What do I mean by that? If your current mentality is filled with limiting beliefs, then creation in your life is very difficult. And all your decisions are limited to the belief you have adopted. Also, I've noticed that when someone has many limited beliefs, then they are always looking out for people to challenge them, which means that they're always looking out to be offended. What do I mean by limiting belief? Here's an example of a limiting belief. Let's say you meet someone and they drive a nice vehicle, but it is, say, 12 years old. You draw the conclusion that this person can only afford an old car. In fact, this person may just not care about having a new car because they may be focused on budgeting their money or invest into something that will pay them a return that will allow them to stop working 10 years sooner than his peers that didn't pursue this example. He may also be conscious that a new car loses 50% of its value over the first 4 years of its life. That means that if he buys a car for $60,000, then this is worth $30,000 in 4 years, approximately. Your limiting belief is that this person can't afford a newer car, and therefore you should be dating someone with a newer car and disqualifying this IFP candidate. Your limiting belief has caused you to make a detrimental mistake because this person may be smarter with their money and therefore is likely to be wealthier. Your limiting belief caused you to conclude the opposite. You may think this limit is natural, but it's the opposite of natural. In fact, it's our human nature to be limitless. We're infinite beings with infinite possibilities. Whenever a limit shows up, or shows itself, it should be an immediate red light. If something unnatural is showing itself to us, we should tell ourselves the truth about this unnatural signal and remember that we are limitless and limits are unnatural to us. Yes, I seem to be repeating myself, but I'm trying to impress this upon you, and this bears repeating. If we are seeing limits, then there is a lie here somewhere. Truth has no limits, and neither do we. If you're not sure whether you have limiting beliefs, then ask yourself the following question. Am I free to say I want without feeling anger? Am I free to say I don't want without feeling anger or rage? Am I free to be happy every moment of my life? Am I the source and the creator of everything in my life? Do I have choice? If you ask yourself these questions and the answers you get come with stipulations, conditions, and or excuses, then you have limiting beliefs that may be valuable to let go of, because creating our best life is impossible with limiting beliefs. By the way, limiting beliefs is another way of saying we have blocks. Also, we can't go all in on a world-class relationship with limiting beliefs because they will not allow your relationship to reach its potential, hence the word limiting. Please remember, any of my teachings are not meant to make anyone bad or wrong, nor to take anyone's side or other than the side of the truth. I'm not a judge nor a referee, and I have no interest in doing so. One last thing before we begin with the benefits of cons of marriage. My teachings are designed to manifest and nurture authenticity, truth, and transparency in a world-class relationship. You may have a bad taste in your mouth from a bad relationship. There are two ways to avoid repeating this failure. One, avoid relationships altogether, remain bitter about the bad one, and grow more negative toward relationships altogether. That's one choice. And it's great to have choices, right? Two, tell yourself the truth about what went wrong and your part in this scenario, which is very important. Resolve this issue within yourself so you cannot repeat it again, or will not repeat it again. Keep your heart open and ready yourself for a new and better relationship, learning from each one until you are ready for the royal relationship. Royal meaning relationship of your amazing life. Just a little something I made up, which is kind of cool. My adult starting years I've spent running a passed down program of limiting beliefs, unable to create the life I wanted because of these limiting beliefs. My next years I spent seeking out mentors that taught me how to change my own program, which changed my limiting beliefs. Why mentors? There are several ways to go about achieving what we want in life. Method number one, we can spend a lot of time in the library looking for the right answer and then attempting to replicate that. Number two, we can read or listen to a book or take a course that guides us to our answers that we seek. Number three, we can find a mentor that already knows how to achieve the solutions we seek, and we can become their student of learning how to achieve our goals at the fastest speed possible. Remember, we can either buy knowledge with time or we can buy it with money. Human beings are limited in time, which we can never get back or retrieve. Using money to spend up your learning gets us to our goals faster, and we have time to enjoy this success instead of still trying to figure it out on our own. Do you remember the epic part in Rich Dad's Poor Dad's when the first person sought to solve the town's water needs by starting a business of hauling jugs of water to the towns using their personal energy, then their families, and finally employees? Everybody was carrying water back and forth. All the while, the second person wasn't heard of for months. 3 months later, we found out this person leased land from several landowners and got permits to build a water pipeline from the nearest water source to this town that was short of water. When this pipeline was finished, this person started selling 1 gallon of water for 40% less than the first water hauler, who was exhausted from schlepping the water day in and day, consuming their entire lives and their families and their employees. The second guy just had to turn his faucet on and off. Soon everyone started buying the second person's water because it was cheaper and more reliable, putting the person that was hauling the water out of business. Why am I recapping this epic moment in this story? I'm telling you this because this was an epic shift in my life when I realized that I always want to be the second person and never the first person, running themselves ragged for a buck. But the greatest impact in my life was manifesting my ideal for a partner, creating a family, and collaborating together, which increased our life and wealth together exponentially. Now, I teach others the power of all-in relationships with your ideal forever partner as your highest and best version of yourselves to live your best life. Benefits of marriage: emotional support, deep emotional intimacy and security. Companionship, sharing life's journeys and reducing loneliness. Financial benefits: dual incomes, tax advantages, pooled resources. Physical health: better health, fewer disease, longer lifespan because of happiness. Mental health: lower depression, anxiety, and stress levels. Social support: broadened support system from family and friends. Legal rights and protections: inheritance, property, medical, and custody. Stable environment for raising children. Personal growth: encouragement for goals and self-improvement. Longevity: longer life due to combined health effects. Cons of marriage: emotional stress, possible increase in relationship-related stress, loss of independence, perceived reduction in personal freedom. Financial strain, potential for financial disagreements or stress. Compatibility issues, difficulties due to a long-term compatibility. Conflict resolution, challenges in managing disagreements, effectiveness. Social obligations, increasing family and social commitments. Legal complications, complexities in divorce or separation. Time management, balancing relationships, personal and work life. Expectation management, struggle with unmet expectations and compromises. Privacy reduction, less personal space and privacy. Please note that the cons occur from not going all in our relationship, doing a half-ass job of it, and just plain sitting on the fence or thinking you're sitting on the fence. In other words, cons don't just have the opportunity to happen. Marriage is about commitment. Commitment means all in. To succeed in a relationship, you have to go all in. Simple as that. For these cons to actually occur, it is required for us to sabotage our relationship. Yep, you heard me right. Remember, the truth will set you free, but sometimes it will piss you off first. If you're pissed off, then you're not free to say I want. None of this has anything to do with someone else and has everything to do with you, whether you're willing to admit that or not. Let me say that again. None of this has anything to do with someone else, and it has everything to do with you, whether you're willing to admit that or not. Our reaction is completely our own responsibility. Every action and reaction is completely our responsibility. As much as we want to blame someone else for our reaction, it is still our action. Well, what if someone triggers me? We are responsible to manage our own triggers. Meaning that if someone slaps me and we shoot them in the head, then we go to jail, possibly for the rest of our life. We can't blame the other person because they triggered us and made us mad and made us shoot them. It doesn't work like that. You allowed yourself to be triggered and you murdered a person. Control them, numb them, shut them off, whatever it takes. I'm talking about triggers. Control them, numb them, or shut them off, whatever it takes. Diffuse them, whatever. Whatever comes from you is your responsibility. Does someone else have a role in my reaction, you ask? Perhaps, but your response is completely your own responsibility. By all this, I mean that someone else may have a part in triggering you, but you're ultimately responsible for your behavior, whatever that is. In other words, you are 100% responsible for your own behavior. I saw a news story where a karate master abused one of his students. The father pursued him and he went to trial and was convicted to prison. On the way to the transfer of the abuser prison, The father attacked the prisoner and murdered him. Now the father is charged with murder because his actions are his own, regardless of the other person's actions. Is this morally or ethically questionable? Sure, of course it is. Everyone can understand that a parent wants to protect their child. However, this does not absolve the father from committing murder. Remember, in God's eyes, everyone is worthy of love. If someone does something bad, that person is still worthy of love. That person is no longer demoted from being a human being. Violence that perpetuates violence is not an excuse or remedy for the pain of the original violence. War cannot ever create peace. Hate cannot ever end hate. Destruction cannot ever solve destruction. Only love can end war. Only love can end hate. Only love can end retaliation. Only love can end escalation. Only love can end destruction. War is the absence of peace. Cold is the absence of heat. Ego is the absence of God. Misery is the absence of happiness. Darkness is the absence of light. Hate is the absence of love. I know we shared some dark things today, so I'm sending all of you a brilliant white healing light to surround and fill you for good health, happiness, and love. I recently launched the 2024 Inner Peace Challenge, where you can learn how to create inner peace for yourself that will automatically share it out into the world and touch others. Consider rewarding yourself and accepting this challenge to add this integral part of leveling up to the highest and best version of you. It's free and will improve your life immensely. Take this epic journey with me at wicm.love. Thanks for sharing a part of your morning with me. I'm grateful that you did, and I hope that you are more self-aware and evolved since we started 30 or so minutes ago. If you can shift in short of a time, imagine what you can accomplish in a whole day, 1 month, 1 year. In our affirmations and declarations meditation portion, that's now on Sundays, we use breathing techniques that enable us to move through the realms of past, future, and bring us back to and keep us in the present. Within the breathing techniques, you also were able to affect your blood flow and pressure as well as your heartbeat at your own will. If you can affect your body's organ function at your will, imagine what else you have that capability of doing with specific training. We are infinite beings with infinite possibilities. And that's the truth. Have a beautiful day and recall this experience throughout your day. And remember that you can influence your body. And remember that you can influence your body's and your mind's functions and change how you feel. You've also learned to move through past, future, and present realms at will, keeping you from getting stuck in the past or the future. These are a lot of abilities that don't even scratch the surface of our human abilities. All it takes is taking charge. Chat soon.
Are you ready to be the ideal forever partner that will attract your high-level IFP like a magnet? Find out how ready you are if your IFP was standing in front of you right now. Take the IFP Magnet Scorecard quiz now and answer this quick 2-minute quiz, and we'll send you a personalized report, plus a complimentary PDF on how ready you are if your IFP was standing in front of you right now. Go to www.score.arell.vision. Score.arell.vision. Arell.vision. Score.arell.vision. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please rate, review, and subscribe to the Ideal Forever Partner Magnet podcast. Your support helps us reach more souls in search of their unconditional true love. Check us out everywhere podcasts. Remember, you have the power to create heaven on earth through unconditional love. This is your life, no one else's. Grasp the courage to strive for the highest and best version of you.